Hello everyone, in today's session we are going to learn about the reflection of a point in a line parallel to x-axis and in a line parallel to y-axis. So let us first consider any point P here. Suppose this is the point P whose coordinate is xy, and I have taken this xy to be 4, 4. Now what will be the image of this point if it is reflected through a line parallel to x-axis? For that we have to draw a line parallel to x-axis. So suppose this is a line parallel to x-axis. This is one line, suppose AB, parallel to x-axis and at a distance a from the x-axis. At a distance a from the x-axis, then where will be its image formed? Now we know that this distance is the object distance, so the image will also be formed at similar distance or the same distance from the line which is parallel to x-axis, which is a mirror at this point. So we know that the point after reflection will be this point, which is P dash. But what will be the coordinates of this point P dash? Then the coordinates of this point P dash will be, as you can see, that the distance between these 2 points from the y-axis remains unchanged, so this will remain x. But what will happen to the value of y, the ordinate? It will become minus y plus 2a. It will become minus y plus 2a. Now let's look at this one. As I told you, this is the object distance, this will be image distance. What is the coordinate of this point? The coordinate of this point is 4, 0, because it lies in the x-axis. So we will later on see whether this formula will give us this value or not. Now what is the value of a here? A is at a distance 2. So let's see, minus y plus 2a will result into 0 or not. What is the value of y? The value of y here is 4. So we write minus 4 plus 2 into the value of a is also 2. So this becomes minus 4 plus 4 is equals to 0. That means this value is correct. So let me reiterate. When a point is reflected in a line parallel to x-axis, the x-coordinate or the abscissa remains unchanged, whereas the ordinate becomes minus y plus 2a, where a is the distance between the x-axis and the line parallel to x-axis. Similarly, suppose for example, the same point P is reflected in a line parallel to y-axis. Now I'm taking the y-axis, a line parallel to y-axis like this. Suppose this is PQ. So PQ is a line parallel to y-axis. Now what will be the coordinate of the image of the point P in reflection in this line? Now what is the distance between these two? Suppose this is again A, and the distance here is only 1. Now if this is the object distance, then the image will also be formed at similar distances. Now what is the distance between the line and the point? It's 1, 2, 3 points. So it will be formed at 3 points behind this one. 1, 2, 3 points. So this suppose is P double dash. Then P double dash is the image of the point P. What will be its coordinates? First let's look at this coordinate. What is the coordinate of this one? The coordinate of this one is minus 2, 4. What do we see here? This value 4, the distance of this point from the x-axis, remains unchanged. So the ordinate remains the same, which is 4, but the value of the abscissa changes and becomes minus 2. What is the formula now? The formula is minus x plus 2a, y. That means the ordinate or the y coordinate remains the same. The x coordinate or the abscissa becomes minus x plus 2a. Now let's verify. So you have minus x plus 2a. What is the value of a here? The value of a, since this distance is only 1, so the value of a here is 1. And what is the value of x? Value of x is 4. So minus 4 plus 2 into 1. So how much do we get? Minus 4 plus 2 is equals to minus 2, which is same as this one. So whenever the point gets reflected in a line parallel to y-axis, the y coordinate remains unchanged and the value of the x coordinate becomes minus x plus 2a. We shall write that later on again on the right hand side. Now let's look at the last case. What if the point P is reflected through the origin or through a point O, 0, 0? Then we'll have to consider a line passing through origin such that this line makes an angle 90 degree with the line joining the origin and the point. And the image will be formed exactly on the other side. Where will be the image formed? The coordinate is 4, 4. Then the image will be formed at this point. Suppose this is P3. It will be minus x, minus y. That means minus 4, minus 4. That means both the x coordinate and the y coordinate will have negative signs, or the signs will be reversed. Therefore, let's summarize what we learned in this video today. The first thing that we learned, that the reflection of the point P, x, y in the line y equals to a. Y equals to a means a line parallel to x-axis at a distance a is the point P dash x, minus y plus 2a. Similarly, if the same point pxy is reflected in the line x equals to a, that means a line parallel to y-axis and at a distance a from the y-axis, then its image will be minus x plus 2a, y. And the third thing that we learned, when a point is reflected through the origin, then both its signs reverses or changes without change in its value. So if the point is p x, y, then the image, suppose p3 prime is minus x, minus y. Lastly, if there is a point which remains unchanged under any particular reflection, then it is called an invariant point. It is called an invariant point. Suppose, for example, we have the point 0, 0, which is the origin. If 0, 0 is reflected in the x-axis, then it will still be 0, 0. That means it is invariant in reflection through x-axis, in reflection through y-axis, and also in reflection through the origin.